Welcome, everybody. Talks for the People, episode 13, trucking on along in this new year. We hope all y'all are having good January. We've almost made it through the first month. Moving right along. It's going to be 2022 before we know it, guys. How's it going today?
It's going good, man. I got a birthday coming up next week. I'm excited about that. I don't know why. Who likes to get older, right?
I mean, a birthday. Didn't you have one last year?
Yeah, I know. What? It's kind of selfish to have one every year.
Rude.
Hey, asshole.
Hey, asshole.
No, I'm doing good. Glad to be here.
Yep, myself as well. Everything's good. Just cruising along in my automobile.
Absolutely. And we know you just got back from a minication. We'll hear about a little bit of that a little bit later in the episode. As normal, we are going to go ahead and start off with a little bit of Burns My Biscuits. And look, guys, listeners, I'll be honest with you. I had a Burns My Biscuits that came up naturally for me, seeing other stuff in and around the internet. However, let me preface my burns by saying has nothing to do with what is currently going on in the political space, has nothing to go on with what is currently going on in the world. This burns was presented to this crew before anything hit the national spotlight again. But I do just have to go out on a limb and say that people need to realize that minimum wage is not equal to living wage. Minimum wage jobs are not meant to support a family. Minimum wage jobs are to get work experience for college kids and high school kids so they have something. Every job you apply for that pays you a decent amount of money says, we request that you have 2 years of experience. And everybody's saying, well, where do I get that experience? You get that experience working a minimum wage job. It's for high school kids. It's for college kids. It's for retirees, aka greeters at Walmart. And I know that may not be the best example because Walmart does pay more than current national minimum wage, but you get the point. Minimum wage jobs are also meant to supplement the main household income, i.e., if a husband or a wife is working the main job that pays all the bills, then the spouse can go get a job flipping burgers, doing tech support, whatever it is, and it's supplemental income to the household income. And it just annoys me when I see all these people saying that they can't live off minimum wage. Well, there's a good reason for that. You're not meant to. Minimum wage is not a living wage. It never has been. It's not meant to be a living wage. Minimum wage is meant as introductory and experience giving jobs and supplemental income. I'll end my
I agree 100%.
I'll end my rant there. I don't want this to come across as political. I don't care because with inflation and all that, all the stuff going on in the political space right now, even if they do raise the national minimum wage, with inflation in 2 years, that's not going to be enough to live off of either. And that is fine. Minimum wage is not meant to be a living wage. Off my chest. I'm done. How y'all doing, guys? Which one of y'all going next?
I agree with you 100%. And kind of to add to it, in my perspective, I mean, it's having a low minimum wage is almost like an inspiration or motivation to do better, to want more. You know, you go get a job flipping burgers at minimum wage, and eventually you're like, I can make more money being a supervisor here. Well, I need to work harder, get that supervisor job, and make more money. So it's to inspire you to do better. I mean, it's not to drag you down, but to your point, I agree with you 100%. It's not to, well, if your intentions is to go flip burgers and be able to go buy a home, it's not going to work.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's my point. You're not going to buy a house, have a child, and support your family, pay your power bill, your electrical bill. Oh, that's the same thing. But you know what I'm saying? You're not going to pay all your bills, your car note, your mortgage. You're not going to pay all that flipping burgers at McDonald's. You're not meant to.
I think this all goes back to something we've touched on a lot actually throughout this podcast, or the not this one, but all of them is entitlement. These people, they think there's people that think they should be able to do as little as possible and make a lot of money or get somewhere in life. That's just not the way it works. You have to work your way up. You got to start somewhere, and you can't have everything handed to you. When I first started working, I was washing golf carts for $5.15 an hour, and
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I was fine with it. I knew that wasn't my career, but it was a job, and I didn't bitch and complain about it.
And
And and now we're where we're at now, and it's entitlement. I think
right.
that back to that. I think it's a
And
Well,
generational thing.
people,
In the
pe-
70s, you never would have heard anybody in the 70s and 80s bitch and complain about minimum wage.
right. And I mean, my thing is, people underestimate how far experience goes. All you need is 6 months to a year at at minimum wage, and if you stay in that profession, your next job will pay you more because your experience. They don't have to train you as much. I did almost 9 years of my working career. Well, no, closer to 11 years of my working life was spent in call centers, all different kinds of call centers, tech support, billing, banking, straight up like customer service. And when I started at my first job, straight out of high school, I was working for a company that did internet tech support, dial up tech support. And I think I started at 850, and I worked there for about a year and a half. They tried to move me to night shift. I didn't want to work night shift. So I politely put in my 2 week notice. And during those 2 weeks, I was applying for other jobs. Well, I knew I was good at call center jobs. So I went and I found another call center. And I was able to put down that I had a year and a half of experience. So when I got that job, they offered me, so long ago, I can't remember the exact numbers, but they offered me like 975 because I went to a new job, but I had experience. I got a significant raise. And that track record followed me for every single call center I worked at, which was about 5 in total. Every time I got a new call center job, I made more money because by the time I got to that fifth call center job, I was able to put on my application that I have 8 years of experience in customer service. Experience goes
I mean,
miles. Just take responsibility for
just
yourself.
just to show, I mean, the whole idea is to get better and improve. I mean, I don't know if we've mentioned it before, congratulated Cody on here, but he just got done and graduated. And with the education he added to a job he already had, that education bumped him to a new status. I mean, that helped him progress as a person and inside of a company where minimum wage or not, the idea is to get better. So if you ever getting in with the mindset like I'm going to get in here, work the base, and they have to bump me up, well, the idea is to get better, to grow. So I mean, minimum wage should never be a foundation such as you're speaking of, Alan. It should be a a starting point to move up and grow, not just all right, this is where we're going to be.
Exactly.
So agree with you
Just
100%.
yeah. We'll go ahead and end mine there. Cody, what you got?
All right, so this is gonna be a big shocker, okay? But my my burns my biscuits deals with Walmart.
Of course it does.
Shocker.
Woo!
All right. So so I have a love-hate relationship with Walmart people. Have y'all seen these videos? Oh, I'm sure you have on YouTube. These compilation videos of Walmart people, or they call them people of Walmart.
There's a whole website dedicated to it.
Yep.
Anybody listening, if you haven't seen it, go to peopleofwalmart.com.
These people, I'm telling you, it is so funny that people will dress like that in public. So my own personal experience happened this Sunday afternoon. We'd been out of town doing a little shopping and kind of getting out of town. Well, when we got back into town, we had to go by Walmart and get some groceries and stuff. And walking through the store, and my wife points this guy out in front of me, and he has sweatpants on, and there's a hole in the butt of the pants. And it is probably the size of maybe a quarter, maybe $half. And it's kind of dark inside. And I'm like,
Was
okay,
it inviting?
so maybe he's got some drawers on, right? So he takes a step and the light, so the hole kind of moves and the light shines in, nothing but ass. This man is wearing no underwear with a hole this size in the back of his pants, right in the crack.
It's easy access for his
It was inviting,
boyfriend.
wasn't it?
You know, it kind of
Yeah.
looked like that was easy access. Like that might have been what happened to that.
That's what it looked like, Steven, that face. That's what Cody saw.
It's like it's either that or this guy had some really, really bad Mexican and just blew that shit right out, buddy. He just blew a hole in his pants. But you know, I see that all the time, or not that, well, not that in particular, but just stuff like that at Walmart. It is amazing that people will go out in public dressed
Not
the way
surprising.
they are. It is so funny. I don't know if I want to open this up for discussion or not. I'm sure y'all seen some stuff too, but I had to share that with you guys. That was the funniest thing. I mean, just pure ass hanging out, just ass.
No, absolutely. I mean, you see things in Walmart that, I mean, there's a new trend too. I don't know how many. I'm gonna embarrass myself again, but it's popular now, so I don't care how many people. There's a new trend on TikTok. You can see the difference between going to Walmart and going to Target. How people will dress up to go to Target, but if they go into Walmart, they'll go in their sweatpants with curlers still in their hair and.
God.
Now look, and I'm not above that. I've went to Walmart dressed in some pretty raggedy clothes myself, but I have never went to Walmart with a hole that revealed things
With your butthole hanging
at
out.
Walmart. I've always made sure I am covered, but I have wore a pretty wrinkled shirt or a pair of sweatpants or gym shorts or whatever to Walmart, but I've never, to my knowledge anyway, I've never wore pants with a big hole in the back seat of it. Anyway, that burnt my biscuits this week.
Hey, you could have burned his biscuits.
I think his was already burnt.
Oh,
And I bet that burnt coming out.
crikey.
What you got this week, Steven?
Well, my burns my biscuits, and it's probably kind of contradictory because so mine kind of gears towards the trip, which I'll probably share after. But tourists that aren't me when I'm a tourist, right? So I'm in Tennessee, and I'm sitting here thinking I'm just driving, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, driving should be the same in every state. There's no left turn signs. There's red lights. There's green lights. There's caution lights. There's stop signs. But for some people, you leave the state and you get functionally retarded. Like you'll hop behind a wheel of a vehicle and forget how to people. It's like, bro, that no left turn is the same in your state that it is in my state. So it drives me up the wall that when I leave the state to go on vacation, whether it's Florida or Tennessee or Georgia, and I'm driving behind somebody, I'm like, yo, these idiots flock in numbers. and you'll see tags all over it. It's like, look, if you can't drive, don't leave the house. But people blow my mind when and when I'm a tourist, people might look at me the same way. But and maybe I'm just arrogant, but I believe I am flawless when I drive, especially outside of state. Because if I'm like I'm gonna miss a turn, I'm not one of those dildos that want to cross over 5 lanes to get my exit.
Right.
I will. Oh, I passed it. Looks like I'm hitting the next one. I'm taking a U-turn. But people do some stupid crap, and I'm like, yo, that's dangerous in your state too. Don't come here doing stupid shit because you missed your turn. Keep driving and take a U-turn or take the
Yeah.
next right. That's all it takes.
Yeah.
That burns me.
Y'all two know a couple weeks ago, one of those last minute exiters that tried to cross 3 lanes of traffic caused me to have that wreck I was in, totaled my car. Didn't even look behind her. I think I've mentioned it on the podcast before, but yeah, driving is one of my biggest pet peeves. People don't know how
Kills
to
me.
drive.
But yeah.
Steven, do you have road rage?
Oh, I do.
I do.
Like I will, and I probably get it from my father because we'd be driving down the road and some guy would cut him off, and he would look. The first thing he would do is look at the back of the car, see that the license plate had a handicap sign. He'd say, "You handicap cripple fuckerhead! I can't believe you just cut me off." He is.
All right, we broke another barrier.
He just, I love my dad to death. He just strung the wildest set of words together and just was angry. But I probably get it from him because I'll be sitting in the car, and you know what? There'll be times where I'm sitting like all cool and collected, just driving, and it'll happen, and I won't appear angry, but I'll like mumble to myself like, "That dickhead just cut me off. Fuck that guy." But I won't be like screaming and yelling. I'll just be like, "I can't believe he fucking did that." Whatever.
So
It's just like
I used to not be that way. I didn't have road rage. Nothing really bothered me. I'll tell you what, in the last 4 or 5 years, I mean, I will cuss somebody out on the road.
Hey, isn't that
I get mad. Now I don't go chase people down, but I get mad at people on the road.
now here's an observation. You live a little bit north of Birmingham. You said last 4 to 5 years is when you started acting that way. That's about the time you started driving to Birmingham every day, right?
That is true.
Okay, there you go.
That is very true. Hey, I got
together.
quick.
The bubble coming together.
All right, quick story here. The worst road rage I've ever encountered, not from me, but seeing someone else do it. I was on the phone going home.
Is that what you were doing? I hope you weren't doing that because you wouldn't be looking at the road. You just got in a car accident.
Sorry. I didn't know if my dog was having a stroke or what. He's doing some funny stuff over there. Oh, he's good though. Anyway, so I was on.
Did he fart?
No, I don't know. He has trouble breathing anyway, so he's like gasping. He's good.
Okay.
Let's just let him finish.
That's what they say.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm going home. I'm on the phone. Of course, it's Bluetooth. I think I had my Malibu then, so it wasn't like I was doing this or anything.
Right.
Well, I look back and this car is way back there. It's not like I'm going to cut him off. So I go to get back over into the middle lane. I was in the left lane. It was 3 lanes. So I go and get in the middle lane. Well, this car speeds up and he goes around me, goes around the left side, gets up in front of me. And here's the funniest part is he tries to brake check me, but he passed me so far that I didn't even have to slow down. Like he slams on his brakes and then goes, and he's like doing this in his back mirror, like giving me one of these, like shooting me like, doing like this, like, and I didn't even have to slow down, and then he takes off, and I just waved at him, and then he was like doing like he was so mad. And, I mean, maybe I did cut him off, but he looked like he was way back there.
I tell
But
you what,
he was so damn mad.
if I cut in front of somebody that's being slow in the fast lane, especially like at night or early in the morning, and they want to try and be jerks behind me by hitting the lights, I'm like, yo, you just want a finger puppet show? Because I'll hold it until your brights go off.
Yeah.
Finger puppets all day. What's that? Finger puppet brother and sister. Let's go. I mean, I will drive with no hands as long as you got your brights on. Don't hit me with your brights thinking that I'm the jerk. You the one driving slow, fella.
Oh, what about the people? What about the people that get mad at you when they were the ones at fault? Like,
Yeah.
look, true story. I drive home every day on a very, very busy interstate. 65 South is a pain in the ass, almost no matter what time of the day you drive. This was about 2 years ago, middle of summer. There was an accident in the left-hand lane. So I'm driving down, and as most sensible, normal human beings on the road could see, you can see the flashing lights. You can see everybody getting out of the left-hand lane. I moved over into the next lane. So everybody's going down and traffic's already slow. All of a sudden, this truck comes zooming up the left-hand lane, which, keep in mind, is now clear. Like, you could see the cones in the cop cars for 3/4 of a mile leading up to it on this stretch of 65. Like, you knew you had to get over. And so this person pulls up in the truck about this time I'm passing right at the accident. So they're trying to get in here, and they try to pull in front of me. And even with two cops sitting right here watching traffic, I intentionally don't let them in. I'm like, every other motherfucker just had to back up over here. We've all gone slow. You think you're gonna jump in front of the 30 cars that all just had to sit through this? No. So they finally got the like 2 cars back, did let them in, and they slammed on their gas, and this girl, I'm talking like, hung out the passenger side of the window, just like giving me the double bird. And when I saw her, like, I made sure she saw me going just cracking up laughing and all of that. It was
I get just as much enjoyment out of watching people not let somebody in like that as I do the people that pull out on the shoulder and gonna go to pass everybody, and then a cop pulls out behind them
Oh,
and
exactly.
pulls them over. I'm like, yeah, fuck you.
And this kind of thing happens on normal exit ramps too. Look, I see your car every day. You probably get off work the same time I do. You knew 2 miles ago you needed to get off this exit, and you're gonna wait till the last 200 feet to try and get over? Fight me. If you miss your exit, good. I'm not letting you over.
Yep.
All right, Steven, tell us about this trip you had to Tennessee.
So I'm going to start with clever advertising on this trip. So I do this every year with my in-laws. Fantastic group of people. Love them to death. They cut up. They have fun. Great time. We go to the Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area. If you're ever in Pigeon Forge, on that strip, there's a Jurassic Park The Ride. The first time I went up there, I drove by and I'm like, yo, that line is out the door. There's like 10 people lined up ready to get in. I'm like, that looks like it'd be great fun. I love Jurassic Park. It's always packed. Always packed. I passed it like 3 or 4 times that trip. I'm like, that place always has a freaking line. So I'm at the cabin and I'm like, all right, let me check the reviews. The reviews are garbage. I'm talking like half a star out of 5. And I'm not even talking like garbage. All right, there's 50 reviews. I mean like 15,000 reviews, and they're all like, this place is freaking trash. And I'm like, I don't understand why people keep flocking to this place if it's so bad, because the reviews are like, oh, it's musty, It smells funky. The animatronics are garbage. There's like cuts in the animatronics so you can see the machinery when a dinosaur turns his neck and all that trash. And it wasn't until like the second or third trip I'm passing by it and I'm like, yo, still got a line. That is incredible. And I realize that these people reorganize mannequins out front like every hour. So they got mannequins dressed like people that stand in a line or that stand out front looking for attraction. That from the street, it looks like they have people 24/7, like people who are standing there and like short mannequins for kids and then tall mannequins for people, and they have them positioned like a dad standing next to his kid and then a mom pointing. And I'm like, these people legitimately strategically put mannequins out front to make it look like the business never stops.
So by the time people stop and find a parking spot, they're like, "Fuck it, we're here. We're gonna go
Yeah,
in."
probably. But that is pure brilliance because from the street, it's a heavy street. From the street, people can see it. And, you know, if you're just passing by at 30 miles an hour, you can't really see the details. But if you're stopped in traffic, you're like, that man hasn't moved in 10 minutes. What the hell? It's a mannequin.
That's the longest
And
ride
like I said,
ever.
it's not just like yeah, they got like 5 or 6 people in line, and here's how I know they strategically did it for advertisement, because at least 4 mannequins on a daily basis are facing the ticket kiosk. They're all like 4 mannequins straight this way, just like looking at the kiosk. So I'm like, all right, there's a lot of people to get tickets, and then there's another 4 mannequins that are standing next to the gate, just kind of looking at the background. So I'm like, they brilliant job. Even I've never done it. I think I might do it one year just to see how bad it is, and then maybe one year I can get back on here and cut up on it. Like, yo, it was trash, but it was worth every like $8 to do it. You know.
that's that's awesome.
So if and I want to know from the viewers, are y'all, you know, if y'all know of any places that do clever advertising like that like completely leads you on like this looks like it's bad A, and then you're like, wow.
That's
So
excellent.
that because like I said, the first trip I didn't notice it. The second trip I was like, yo, they've had me fooled for like 2 straight years, and then I realized it was mannequins. Brilliant. Bravo, Jurassic Park the ride in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Um, but the next thing that happened on the trip that just it made me laugh so hard. So y'all have seen the movie Basketball, right?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. If you haven't, for the viewers out there, the creators of South Park are the 2 main characters, and they cut up, they have fun, and they pretty much, without giving it away, they make up their own game. So it's a fun movie about that. Well, we're on this trip, and love my wife to death. Her and her sister are playing checkers, while me and my brother-in-law are walking around the store. So we're walking around and we see them playing checkers. So we step up and we're like, "So what are y'all doing?" They're like playing checkers, and I'm looking down, and I'm like, "How are y'all playing checkers?" They said, "What do you mean? Neither one of you are on the same color. You're on white, you're on black. You play the same. You play the same color." And they're like, "Whatever, we're making it work." So I take 2 steps away, and then it hits me. I step back. I'm like, "Better question: how are you playing checkers and you both have pieces from the other opponent? You have to jump them to get those pieces, and you're not on the same color. How are you jumping them?" But I am more amazed at the brilliance that they did, because not only did they play, but they played to completion, which means they finished the game without being able to do how the rules actually are. But they it was kind of like basketball. They took a game, they kind of slid some rules to the side and made new ones, and it worked really well. I was impressed.
That's
Hey,
a
look,
that's a poor man's chess.
yeah, no, and honestly, like some people might think I'm picking on it or making fun. I am amazed at the brilliance. You have to be a brilliant tactician to kind of spin the game the way they did. Because I was watching them play, and I'm like, wow, It actually, I mean, it was functional. They played checkers wrong and made it functional. Bravo, bravo. So,
That's awesome.
but you're right. I was impressed, legit. The very last thing, of course, anytime I go on a trip, I think my number one priority is food. Good food. Got to have good food.
Always.
So, which brings me to the last thing that really stuck out: food combinations that aren't normal, but wow you. So while I was on this trip, I had a shrimp grilled cheese with a seafood tomato soup, and wow. I mean, it was almost like a seafood gumbo, but it was using tomato soup instead of like chicken broth or whatever else you might put in. So it's literally. I mean, they had tomato soup. They had some crawfish, some lobster, some shrimp in the tomato soup, and then the grilled cheese was some fat Texas toast with like full shrimp inside of it. Oh, pure brilliance. And then when you dipped it in it was fantastic. But that's typical, shrimp and a grilled cheese. It's not typically something you see or you think about.
I mean
It was
that
phenomenal.
that is a faux pas. Like usually with very very rare uh, exceptions, cheese doesn't go on seafood. I mean, at all.
Yeah,
I mean, cheese and seafood most of the time don't mix. There's a few notable exceptions, like what is it? Oysters Rockefeller and all that has like the Parmesan scraped
yeah,
over it before it's broiled and all that. But you don't have like salmon with provolone. I mean, it's
yeah.
cheese and fish
It blew
usually
my mind.
don't.
I was impressed. It did a fantastic job. I think it was called Butch's. It was a restaurant in Huntsville, and we saw it again in Chattanooga called, I think it was Butch's. And they had that on the menu, and it was phenomenal.
Oh, I'm not a tomato soup fan, so I will take your word for it. But I believe it was. I believe you.
But I am curious. I mean, between y'all and the viewers, what are some interesting food combinations that would wow you? Like Cody, do you have something that kind of sticks out?
Yeah, so growing up, uh, my house would eat vanilla ice cream with golden flake barbecue potato chips. It's really good.
What?
All right. So
I'm not gonna lie, me and Alan are both cringy over here.
so
That
you
sounds
take
cringy.
you
That sounds cringy as fuck.
you take your take your potato chip and you scrape the ice cream and eat it. Oh, it is
Okay,
good. It
okay.
is good.
Hold on,
Now,
hold on,
oh,
Cody. Hold on.
okay.
This is a message to the Renegade Gamer. I'm gonna need you to verify this one down in the comments. I'm singling you out because you're Cody's brother. I need you to verify this one down in the comments for me.
Oh, I have no worries about that. In fact, the last time I visited with him, he was talking about he's wanting that. That's what made me remember that.
Oh God.
Oh, it's good. Now you have to do it with Golden Flake. Lay's, well, that's another topic. Lay's barbecue chips are awful, but
So,
Golden
and
Flake's barbecue chips are really good.
that's a funny thing. How often do you hear, "Don't get name brand, get the off brand"? It's
Are you
like,
saying Golden Flake is off brand?
What's wrong with
yeah,
you?
Lay's is name brand. Golden Flake is like
Golden Flake is the golden god standard. Lay's is the
Golden Flake is
off-brand
the
wannabe.
version of potato
I'm
chips.
taking you off my wall.
Lay's is the Johnny Come Lately wannabe.
Exactly.
Golden Flake is the original.
I'm just saying, y'all enjoy your great value chips. I'm all about Lay's.
I mean, isn't that Golden Flake's theme? The South's original potato
All right.
chip?
All right, look, hang on. I've got one better, okay? Now, I personally don't like this one, but my dad, and I think my brother does this too, but my dad will take a cup of milk and he will take crackers and put it in the milk, and he would eat it with
No.
a spoon.
No, no. That's disgusting. That's soggy
Yes,
cracker.
I agree. That one is disgusting,
That's,
Let's
but
be
he
honest.
loves it.
What's the
that's.
difference between that and Wheaties? I feel that's like the same thing.
I don't like Wheaties either because they're.
I don't either, but they already kind of make
Okay,
a cereal.
but I'll tell you where it's different and why it's even more disgusting than Wheaties. Imagine pouring you a bowl of Wheaties, pouring your milk over your Wheaties, and then just putting salt all in the bowl with it. That's where it's different and more disgusting. That's nasty.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that one either. But hey, I got another one. Another one my dad does that I find cringy. I love you, Dad. He will take a can of pineapple, sliced pineapples,
Okay.
like the Doles, where it's just a round slice.
Pineapples were good.
Okay? I hate pineapples.
I like pineapple.
But he will take that and he will put mayonnaise on bread. He has a pineapple sandwich.
Okay, no. I like
I've heard
mayonnaise.
that before.
I like mayonnaise and I like pineapple, but I'm not making a pineapple sandwich. With
Hey, he likes it, man. I don't like pineapple, so I have no opinion on it. But
I like pineapple, but there's two
So
places
I like
pineapple
that
should
many
never
times before,
go, and that's on a
and
pizza
I
and
wouldn't
on a
mind
mayonnaise
trying it.
sandwich.
I have to call this out. My wife texts me while we're doing this, and she said, "If you continue to make gagging noises, I'm gonna come in there and throw up on you." God, I love her.
Hey, text back. Please do it. It would be good for views. I can look if I make a
hey, we'll put
YouTube
it on replay.
if I put a YouTube on the YouTube video host gets thrown up on, I guarantee you we double our views.
But here's the problem: is knowing my wife, she will not physically come in here. What she'll do is she'll throw up in a bag, tie it, crack the door, and sling it at me from a distance.
That's even better.
She'll water balloon vomit on me.
You got sacked.
She's like, "I'm not going to be seen, but I'll come in there and throw up on you some kind of way."
So I used to take. Now I don't like it with white bread, but if I have wheat bread, I used to take just mayonnaise, put it on the bread, and I would eat a mayonnaise sandwich.
You and my
when I was younger.
wife,
Huh?
you and my wife are disgusting.
She does that?
Yes.
Yeah, I know several people do it actually, but it's
There has to be
yeah, you have
something.
to like mayonnaise.
It's
though.
not a sandwich. There has to be something else there. Mayonnaise is a condiment. Put a tomato in there. Put some cheese in there. Put some ham in there. A mayonnaise sandwich is not a sandwich. It's mayonnaise on bread, and it's disgusting
I got
by
one more
itself.
for you. It's going to be interesting. So, and my wife thinks it's disgusting, but I will take a piece of bread, glop mayonnaise on it, and fold it in half, right? And when I eat chili, I use that as like a spoon. Like I dip it in the chili and just eat mayonnaise bread with chili.
Now, hold on. That one
Delicious.
I can see because I still put mayonnaise on my chili dogs. Like if I'm making a chili dog, I still put mayonnaise on the bun. So I mean, I can see that one.
It's not that there's mayonnaise involved. It's the fact that when I fold the bread in half, the mayonnaise kind of gloops out the side, and she sees it and she wants to throw up because of all the glopped up mayonnaise dripping out the side of my bread.
All right, look. All right, this has brought me to 3 points. I hope I can remember them all. The first one is that I don't want mayonnaise anywhere around my weenie. Okay, on a hot dog, I don't want mayonnaise anywhere around my weenie.
It makes it real
Second
slick.
point is if I'm gonna have bread with chili, it's gonna have to be a grilled cheese. It's gonna have to have that little bit of crunchiness. I don't think I can just do bread. And the third point is, do you guys always spread mayonnaise on your on your bread with a knife,
I do.
or do y'all just put mayonnaise on one piece of bread and take your bread and rub them together?
No, I'm
It
a
depends.
knifer.
It
Both
depends on
I'm
how
not.
lazy.
both sides.
It depends on how lazy I am. But if I'm in a rush, I glob it and then I take the 2 pieces of bread and then go on my way. But typically, I will spread it with a knife. But occasionally, I'm like, I ain't got time for this.
So the first time I've ever even seen that was when I got married, and my wife does that, and I'm like, no, 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 no. There has to be an even distribution
Yeah,
of mayonnaise.
exactly. You got to get it exactly to the
It's got to be
edges.
perfect.
Okay.
Every inch has to be covered, and you take the excess and you put it on the rim of the. Well, this is before we got the squirt bottles, but put
Yeah.
it back in the. You put it back in the tub with a rim.
Even with the squirt bottles, I go, and then you spread it out.
Yeah. See, I don't want it real thick, so I do I spread it out. And what's left with the excess that builds up on the knife, I put it back in the tub.
Right.
Well, I need both of y'all to understand that when I'm dealing with white, creamy substances, I love it thick.
You don't want it drippy or running.
Ew.
You sure not just a little bit watery to make it flow faster and better? Make the sound. Make the sound. I want to call Corey out. I've got one weird food combination that comes to mind. I've never been brave enough to try it because I don't want to ruin one of my favorite foods. And have y'all heard of the people who take a nice, hot, warm piece of apple pie and they put a piece of cheese on top of it?
Get out.
No,
Look it up.
no.
Look it up. This is a thing,
Ice cream.
particularly sharp cheddar cheese that comes in the block. They cut a piece or two off of the block and they put it on their apple pie. Look it up. It's a real thing. Apple pie is my favorite pie, and I've never been able to bring myself to potentially ruin a slice of apple pie because then I would be a sad panda. I would be upset.
I don't know how I feel about that. I'd be willing to try it, but I definitely have my questions.
Yeah, I don't. I would be mad if I messed up my apple pie.
So I've got another one. So when I was growing up, we used to eat a lot of vittles.
What? Huh?
Vittles.
Snacks.
Vittles? You don't know what vittles is?
No.
It's just
Snacks.
slang for country food.
But what is it?
It's anything.
Yeah, it's like a snack. People
No, no, no,
refer
no, 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 no.
to
Vittles is food. It's
So like
just any
vittles
food.
can be biscuits and gravy.
Yes, it can be. Yes. I usually refer to vittles as country food, like mashed potatoes, field peas, cream corn,
Okay.
oak, fried okra, stuff like that. So anyway,
it's like sides or starters. Like
Countryside
before we get
dishes.
on, let's get some vittles.
I
Let's get some.
retract what I said. When I eat vegetables growing up,
Yeah,
I
there we
would
go.
take to save room on my plate. I would take my mashed potatoes and put them in a pile on my plate. Take my field peas, put them on top of my mashed potatoes, and I take my cream corn and I put it on top of that. Make a little
Oh,
mountain.
I never mixed the cream corn into it.
Oh, it
That's
is good, Alan. It is so good.
Well,
You got
no.
cream corn should
creaminess
not.
all over you. It is so good.
That's
And
disgusting,
Get it
Cody.
all
I
over your
like
taters.
corn
It's
in my
good.
mashed potatoes. I like corn in my mashed potatoes. I like peas in my mashed potatoes. But creamed crap in my mashed potatoes.
Does it
If
not
it's creamed
change?
corn, I eat
Does it not change the consistency of your mashed potatoes into some like just loose yuck?
Well, it depends on how much you put in there. You learn, you know,
Because I
you
don't
learn
like
your
peas either. The only
amount.
time I mixed the mashed potatoes and peas is when I was a kid and I was told I had to eat peas, and that's when I would mix it with my mashed potatoes so I could choke it down.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know that everybody I know. Well, my brother does it too, but everybody else, like my dad, I did not get that from my dad because my dad does not want anything on his plate to touch.
Yeah.
If it looks like it's going to touch, he just gets another plate and makes 2 plates.
Nice.
So I did not get that from dad.
All right. Let's for sake of saving time, guys, listeners, look, we apologize. These last 2 episodes we know went very long, and we're working very hard to cut down on that. We know ain't nobody got 2 hours to sit and listen to our dumbasses, so we're trying to make this more enjoyable. Move on to this next topic we got lined up. I'll let y'all go first because I hadn't really thought of one yet. There's plenty of stuff that I am the world's worst at. Plenty of things, but nothing that I can stand out that is hilariously bad. So y'all go ahead and go first, and I'll try to think if there's one I can call out about myself.
So I brought this up because I almost said it again. I'm really bad about using that phrase. Like if I screw something up or if I do something over and over and over again, I'm always like, God, I'm the world's worst at walking in the kitchen and forgetting why I went in there or something like that.
I thought
Like
you were about to say Call of Duty.
oh. All right, you're getting team bagged next time we play.
Dip,
Bite
dip,
on that.
potato chip. Dip, dip, potato chip.
So
No teabagging.
I can't remember what made me think of this because it happens so often. But I say that all the time that I'm the world's worst. I'm the world's worst at coming home. My wife works nights. She's asleep. So I'm trying to be quiet. And I run into the wall. I drop 16 things in the kitchen. I knock 6 pans off out of the cabinet. It sounds like it sounds like a circus in the house when I'm trying to be quiet. And and I'll be like, I'm the world's worst quiet person ever. So I just want to know what you guys are the world's worst at, or what something that you do a lot of, and you're just like, damn it, why do I always do that?
So I can think of one off the very tip top of my head, and I'm pretty sure almost everybody who encounters me and talks with me could probably verify, but I am the world's worst at trying to read a conversation and answering as the other person's answering, and like 90% of the time I get it like wrong. It's like somebody would be explaining to me, yeah, you do this, this, and this, and then that'll lead to, and I'll be like, this. And they're like, well, no, it's this. So I'll be sitting there listening and listening and listening. It's like, yeah, we were going to do this the other day. And we ended up, I was like, it rained. And they were like, nope, that's not what happened. I am and I don't know what it is. And, I get it. Maybe I'm not as bad as I think I am at it, like 90%, but like 50-50, half the time I get it wrong, half the time I get it right. But there's no need for me to even guess if they're telling me. There's no need for it. But I'm the world's worst at trying to read a conversation and just like fill in like I know what I'm talking about. Like I'm telling, like I know the story. Like I don't, but I cut in and I'm like, oh, okay, your dog pooped on the floor, and they're like, it's not what I was about to say. Nope, not at all. But and you pay attention to me. Like if y'all are ever telling me a story, and I know I do it to my wife all the time, and I know I need to do better at it, but I'm the world's worst at. She'll be like, yeah, when I was at work today, I'm like, they didn't do anything, and she's like, I wasn't gonna say that. I was just gonna say that I found $1 on the way in. I'm like, oh, okay, well that's. I try to read the conversation, and I think I know where it's going, and half the time I'm like, well, I butchered that, didn't I? So that's probably my.
It's almost like you try to impress them by thinking
Yeah.
what they're thinking, but
Yeah.
you fall short.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, it's probably 50-50. Sometimes you're like exactly, but the other 50%, it's like, and I'll tell you this: the 50% that I'm off is like 100% wrong. I'm not even close. Like I said, like my wife will be like, "Oh yeah," and I'm like, "Did your computer crash?" She's like, "No, I found $1." Nowhere close to what she was going to say or what the person was going to say. So I'm like, "Oh, I got this. I know exactly." No, no, it's so bad. I'm the world's worst at it. I need to do better.
I've got a little bit of one, but it's gonna sound really really bad. But I guess I would have to say, almost to my detriment, I'm the world's worst at giving a fuck. like and I mean this way. If it does not directly impact my life or the life of one of my good friends, I don't care. Like I could not possibly care less. I don't care how it affects you. Your life doesn't affect me. I don't care. Now, if it's a friend and something's happening in their life, what can I do for you? How can I help? And I'm sincere with that.
Yeah.
But if there is anything else, like, I don't care. I don't care what happened to you. It does not. Like, in the grand scheme, I hope nothing bad does happen to you, but I don't care. I'm a heartless. I'm selfish. Like I'm an asshole. My wife will tell you I'm an asshole, but I don't I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't care.
We agree.
Like I know everybody knows it. Like I don't only
But you're
only
our asshole.
thank you. Only half of my empathy gene exists. There's very limited space there. So very close friends and like my wife and my family. I can muster up a fuck to give, but if you're outside that circle, I just sorry. I mean, I hope things get better.
Nice.
I'm not the opposite. I care too much. I have I have way too big of a heart.
No,
Like
now look, I
it
will
gets me
tell
in
you.
more trouble than
Look, that's my wife's like that, and we've had serious conversations. And hey, baby, I love you. You know I do, and I best of interest. Your best interest is at heart, but my wife cares too much about what other people think. What other people think, what other people are feeling, whether she's a sweetheart. She will take care of anybody. She will do anything for anybody to her detriment. I'm like, baby, you got to quit giving so many fucks just by a little bit. You want to help everybody, and she's a sweetheart. She's awesome. She's an amazing person. She will help anybody with anything. But sometimes it just, I'm like, why do you care? That doesn't affect us at all. But she's an awesome person. She's great. But yeah, she's in the same boat as you, Cody. She cares too much sometimes.
all right. So this next thing we're going to talk about, this should be very interesting. So you go along in life and you kind of assume things, and probably to our detriment as a society. But you kind of go along and you feel like there's only one or two different ways to accomplish something,
Like
whatever
there's
that
there's
may
like
be.
a natural way to do everything.
Right. There's a logical way to do things. And it's usually the easiest way to do things, right? Well, we always take the the path most traveled is kind of the human nature. You take the easy road. Well, that being said, it came to my attention last week that I am completely wrong and that there are more than two ways to skin a cat. to use a phrase. And it came up because, I don't even remember why it came up. But I made the comment about how people wipe their ass. And I found out that there are people in this planet that stand up to wipe their ass. And
Let me tell you.
I'm I'm speechless. I don't know what to say.
Okay,
'cause
but
I thought
listen.
that sounds like a lot of work.
Listen, it's not a lot of work, and here's what it is. I don't know how flexible you are, but I'm not a goddamn gymnast. I get done shitting. I've already been straining, and I mean, like, you want me to twist around and, like, dig my fist down in my butt crack like this to try and wipe while I'm still sitting down? My back doesn't bend that way. Look, you're sitting on the toilet, your butt cheeks are already spread, sitting on the commode. Take your left hand, grab your right butt cheek, and pull. And then you stand up so that your butt cheeks stay spread, and then you just wipe. That gives you the widest surface area of that toilet paper to get that peanut butter out of the shag carpet.
Alan, you're like that bee. You're working too hard.
No.
Just lean, baby. Look, you just lean.
You can say that you wipe from coot to poot.
But if you lean, just lean with it, then your butt cheek closes back. See, I grab it and spread, and then I just stand up so I get maximum wipage. It helps with mud butt too. It's not as many wipes.
So, look, the only two I've ever heard of is the right method, which is what I do, is I lean to the left and I come in from the right and I get a little, I go front to back. So there are other people, though, that go between their legs and wipe from front to back. Now, that seems very dangerous to me.
No, they wipe back to front. Back to front.
Is that not what I said?
You said front to
No, you
back.
said front to back.
Okay, I meant back to front. That seems very dangerous because there are things in the danger zone
So
going from
I
front to back.
understand that, especially in the female world, wiping from coot to poot is ideal to keep things clean. If you wipe from poot to coot, you're bringing germs from one playground to another. So I understand your concern for danger, but I don't know if guys carry that same danger.
Okay, but how do you not smear shit all over your taint?
Well, it's either over your taint or up your back.
But do you not get this shit like in that little crevice between where your taint turns into your ball sack? So then you gotta like get in there and like you're trying to wipe all that out.
Let me point out that at no point in my life will I ever bend over and my gooch will show where people can see what has been crusted over there.
Yeah, but that's also a very sweaty area.
There are moments where I bend over to pick something up and my crack shows, and if my trail runs too far up because I'm wiping that way, people are going to see that my unclean butt crack, especially if you have what you refer to as the shaggy carpet. Sometimes it just sludges through. Some poos turn out like the scene from the Never-Ending Story where the horse gets stuck in the mud, and if you're wiping up the back and you got that sludge trailing up like a slug, and I bend over to pick something up, somebody sees down my poo hole.
Look,
they're gonna, whoa, what's going on back?
Look, I'll be honest with you. I try to minimize that by doing this as well. I get the toilet paper probably a little bit thicker than I should. But then, like, I stick that middle finger out, and as I cross the bowl, I dig it in just a little bit to make sure I clean it. To make sure it's cleaned completely. Just the tip. Just a tip. It's like I dig it and give it one good, like, jerk.
It's safe to say that Alan fondles himself every time he uses the bathroom.
I hate the day that you forget to cut your fingernails and you stab through.
My fingernails will
That brings
never
up another
stab.
topic.
I don't stick my finger inside my butthole. I just grab it on the outside and pull when I'm wiping.
Alan, whatever you do is your own business, buddy. All right, look. So this brings up another topic that always fascinates me. Are y'all waters of toilet paper, or do you fold the toilet paper?
No, I fold.
I wad.
Fold.
You wad?
I mean, I do it like a baseball.
Oh, that's a
Baseball.
waste. I'm too OCD. I fold it and it's nice and straight. And
let me tell you why. Let me tell you why. Right. So if it's flat, it smears. Right. You don't have a broom that's just a piece of paper because it just smears everything. It doesn't pick it up. You have the bristles. So when you wad it up like a baseball, you have all those little grooves and those dips and the pieces that hang out that are just like snag along the way and drag out.
Y'all are both wiping your ass wrong.
I don't know. I don't even know what to say to that.
I am curious though. Knowing
Did
that
you
there's
say you
multiple
wipe
ways-
your ass with a broom?
No, I'm just saying the little indentions, not having a smooth, flat surface helps grab some of the extra. But
No.
I am curious though, if there's multiple ways to do it, are there people out there? I need to know. Please comment and let me know if you wipe this way. Do you wipe from side out? Like, do you just grab from the inside and just pull over a butt cheek? I need to know if that's a thing.
That's what you do, isn't it, Cody? That's what you said. You lean and just pull over your right butt cheek.
Yeah, I lean and I go in the whole area and go toward my back.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I mean sideways, like whole area straight to the right over your butt cheek.
That's how you get skid marks.
I need to know if that's a thing.
Listen, that we need to know how you wipe your ass. We're genuinely curious. Let us know in the comments, how do you wipe your ass and why is it the right way? Give
So
us
Alan,
the reasoning.
Alan, I'm curious. You said you were a folder.
Yes.
Do you fold like do you get a big long sheet and then fold it, or do you wrap it around your hand?
At home. I'm a hand wrapper and then smash and then.
No matter where I'm at, I get a long strip and then I fold it like
No.
origami.
No, I hand wrap.
Origami.
Yeah, I hand wrap and then smush.
So I have heard people use baby wipes, and I don't know how I feel about wet being down there while I'm trying to wipe.
Listen, my dude wipes came in today, and they're minty fresh. They will make your butthole tingle, and I use them as that final wipe. I went and had Mexican food today with my brother before I came home, and before we got on the podcast, and I had to take a shit. And it was a sloppy Mexican food shit. So like the first couple wipes, I did use toilet paper, but then I wanted to try out my new dude wipes, and they're menthol, and like you just got this nice clean wipe. Your butthole was nice and tingly afterwards. Like it was great.
Well, that being said, if we make it to 500 subscribers, that I will make sure the fans only page has a tingling butthole in it.
Yes. Get us to 500 subscribers and we can see how immaculate Steven keeps his asshole.
Also, guys, in the comments, leave us foods that are strange to other people that you like.
Yeah, absolutely.
Also, I encourage everyone to try the Golden Flake barbecue chips with vanilla ice cream.
I tell you what, though, if we get enough comments on different things to sample, I would not mind having an episode where we try everybody's foods and rate them.
Hey,
like you great value chips and ice cream.
We could definitely, if we get enough comments,
not great value chips.
If we get enough comments giving us different items to try, we will make that happen. I do want to acknowledge that we did have another great conversation topic left in a comment wanting to know what cartoons were our favorite growing up. And we're not going to have time to get to that this week, and we didn't really feel like it fit into this week's lineup. But Renegade Gamer, we will get to your cartoon topic probably next week. It's an excellent topic. We all want to discuss it. Also, coming up very soon, we have not forgotten. All three of us are going to do the Hot Ones Challenge. Thanks to my brother helping us out, we have the full all 10 sauces. We have all 10 sauces from Hot Ones this most recent season. We have all 10 sauces. We will be trying that out soon. So look for that. That will be a bonus episode. We are going to do that one. You will get to see all three of us in person together eating that. We're gonna have more of these special episodes coming up. We'll be doing more stuff as we go along. But leave your comments below. Let us know more about what you want us to talk about. We had. It looks like there's only one topic we didn't get to this week, guys. We can definitely move that to next week because I've got a good story on that one. It looks like there's two. We're good for next week. We're moving 2 topics to next week, guys. We thank you for joining us. Y'all got anything else to say? Closing out the show?
No. Once again, thanks everybody for the support. Leave your comments on anything you want us to talk about, anything we talked about this week. And next week when I see y'all, I'll be a year older.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, brother. But for me as well, I just want to be happy and thankful that everybody shares, likes, subscribes. You know, just your input makes it fun for us. You know, when we get to interact with y'all and do funny things, we love it. So keep sharing with us. We're gonna keep keeping y'all in sync, and we eventually get to the point where we have enough comments on each page. You know, who knows? We might go live and let y'all interact while we talk. You know, just it depends. You know, the way it goes is talks for the people. Y'all the people. Stay classy, San Diego.
And don't forget that me and Steven still does it when we're playing certain games. I know he's had some trouble getting it to stay stable recently, but we do stream on Twitch. We play a lot on the weekends. Sometimes I do fire up my stream during the week. You can find me at twitch.tv/RTRAllen. When Steven goes live, he is at twitch.tv/God26. That's with 2 D's, GODD 26. And Cody started playing with us a lot, bringing up the rear, keeping us good, spotting us. Y'all missed it. If y'all aren't watching us on Twitch yet, y'all missed it. We got our first place finish last weekend. It was 2 weeks ago now, 2 weekends ago. We got our first place finish. This crew you're looking at right here did it. So,
False.
Join us if you want to see us in a different atmosphere. Join us on Twitch whenever you get a chance. You can go to our channels, hit that follow button. You'll get notified when we go live. Until next week, everybody. Peace out.
Peace out.
See y'all.